I think we're on. I think this is it. Is this the fun? Welcome everyone to a very special Adult Swim Con live event, a Q&A with the creator and stars of the Emmy-winning animated comedy series Rick and Morty. I'm Terry Schwartz from IGN, and we're about to get swifty with some of your favorite humans behind this incredible series. So first up, I am introducing our co-creator, executive producer, and sometimes voice actor, Dan Harmon. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. We also have Chris Parnell as the voice of Jerry.
Hello.
I think I'm the only one clapping, but I want to make sure you feel that like rah-rah applause feeling from this digital event. Spencer Grammer, the voice of Summer.
Hi.
And Sarah Chalke as the voice of Beth. Welcome, everyone.
Woohoo.
We did it.
Woohoo.
Rah, rah. We're
Rah, you're amazing.
We're all so incredible. So welcome, Sarah. I like to imagine that you were like just recording, season 5 episodes. You're like still in the voice booth.
Yeah, I live in here. It's blue foam. It's very calming. They put me in a blue foam room, and I'll just be here till we finish season 5. That's where I live.
Yeah, we don't. She's the first in our Operation Stockholm mission because Netflix has begun just waiting outside every building. We can't let our talent anywhere. So we've actually Sarah's the first one to be in a Netflix-proof box.
Chris, they're coming for you with the boxes next after all this working their way around.
Sounds fantastic.
Now you guys are working on season 5 right now, though obviously remotely and from quarantine. So how does writing for Rick and Morty via Zoom change the creative process at all?
The short answer is it makes it joyless, but there's a lot of asterisks on that. I like the writer's room, it started as a room full of people smoking cigars and farting and making the worst, most inappropriate jokes in the world and clapping each other on the back. And somehow out of that comes like TV appropriate material and stuff. And with or without the pandemic, it was kind of evolving more and more towards something more approaching a boardroom where people are accountable to the kinds of that they say. Well, for instance, can I say I don't know anymore? But it's like the emphasis is not, you're not going to follow your bliss. People are staring at a screen. You kind of have to pay more attention to the endurance of the human brain, the ability to focus. And so the good news is, the kind of fun thing is, it means you can only go for 2 hours at a clip. And during that 2 hours, you cannot really dick around that much. You can spend 20 minutes, you log in and people filter in and they exchange how insane they're going based on whatever they read in the news or what their neighbors said. And you make small talk but you pretty much have to hunker down and kind of go like parliamentary procedure. Like, I had an idea about this, I had this, and it's less about shouting and yelling and laughing and explosive like bliss. That's a bad thing. The irony is, it's a very good thing. Democratically speaking, it becomes harder and harder for people that were more socialized for interruption to dominate the room. Speaking from that side of that experience, like, even though I'm in charge, if everyone starts talking at the same time, the whole thing goes flatline. You can't understand anybody, so nobody can really just like, I'm the biggest, strongest like thing, the guy that shouts the loudest, so all of my pitches are getting in, and that's actually a good thing for everybody in a general sense. But I think everybody also feels like that's because it generally sucks now. But we are the material that's coming out of it is still just as strong, if not better. We're advanced enough in this to say that's for sure. Like, the outlines are fantastic. I think it might be a little better a little sooner. The writers are gaining a little autonomy. They have to go off and like come back and share a screen with plot points on it. And so it actually is becoming a little more mechanical and maybe a little better.
Well, I also imagine too, I mean, the joy of doing it all via Zoom call, right, is like you are looking directly at everyone where you're talking, and you can tell when a joke lands or when it does not, because you are staring dead into everyone's eyes.
There's pretty much no joke will land. And I think that I flirted with stand-up. Parnell, I don't know if you did stand-up, like, or it was like, I mean, one thing you had to learn to benefit yourself was like, you better not expect anybody to laugh ever. And that's something that writers may or may not have varying degrees of. And now everybody's got to have it. You cannot, the fifth time that in a Zoom writer's room where you suggest something and then there's silence and you respond to the silence going, oh, or maybe I should just go hang myself. You're just going to be the person that always says that all the time to the same thing that everyone has to go through. So everyone kind of drops that now, and you gain self-esteem and respect for each other because it's just quiet.
Yeah. That's so interesting. That's cool.
Yeah. We'll come back to season 5 in a little bit, but first, I mean, the joy of this Q&A and getting you all together is talking a bit about one very important thing that makes the show so special, and that is the family dynamic at the core of Rick and Morty. So since we have you all here, we want to figuratively dig deep into the Sanchez family DNA. Let's quickly take a look back at all the exciting and ridiculous adventures of season 4 with a quick little sizzle recap.
Hey, I told you kids, no phones.
There's not even any service. Just let us be happy for a minute.
You know, maybe if you two stop whining and let your old man take the reins, you might actually learn something. Here, take a bite of this tasty treat.
Oh, you think this s'more makes you special? What, because someone said good job to you once when you were 10? That's actually really sad, Dad. Let's be real. You've been high-roading us nonstop, forcing us to do nothing in the middle of nowhere because it's the only way you're gonna level the playing field, isn't it? Because if you move the bar so low, you might actually seem like you're worth a
Huh. I'm gonna go take a walk.
Jesus Christ, you really need to stop hanging out with Rick. Honey, you're back.
You seem surprised.
You never wrote.
And never exploded?
What I'm hearing is that you think that's a bomb.
So does every engineer that's seen it.
Engineer? Princess, I'm sure every caveman that sees a microwave calls it a rock cabinet. The point of inventing is to make things that don't exist.
Then whip me up a reason not to kill you.
Dad, we're off to Dr. Wong's.
Scan her.
Dad?
Okay, have fun, Pumpkin. Sorry, I'm a piece of shit father.
Oh, well, the self-loathing buys a lot back. Jerry, leave the puppet.
It's a one-way ticket to a breakthrough, Beth.
The device in her neck would have transferred a database of her memories to your device before vaporizing her. So much for that plan.
Mom, can I try your tea?
Yes, Summer. Yes, try my tea.
It's so good. It's so warm. Mom, can I talk to you about my special time?
It's okay. I have one too.
Mine is heavy today.
Mine is never light. I love you ever since you were mailed to me by a doctor woman. Your special time is your power. It makes you strong like a boob.
Strong against what?
Scorpions. Female scorpions. They're attacking outside. Come on. Fight them with your heavy special time.
You do it too. Hello?
I'm that Supreme Court lady, and you f***ing did it.
We did it.
How about you, Jerry? You got anything to add to the family dynamic?
I've been getting into beekeeping lately. Is something wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Don't I have the right to be happy? To exist? I'm sorry I didn't 9/11 Pearl Harbor before breakfast, but I have a life too. I have dreams.
And how's Summer? Did she have fun too?
I'm not gonna lie. It's like, speaking of watching something while staring directly at other people, watching you guys react to watching those scenes was priceless.
I was really enjoying that a lot. Oh my God.
Morty just like narrating what he thinks and telling a story of what we would say kills me so much.
So clearly a lot of incredible high points in season 4, starting with, let's start with Spencer. Did you have a favorite moment from season 4?
Oh my God. Oh, a favorite moment from season 4. I mean, I really, really loved Rick Star, Rick Galactica with all the snakes. Like, I just can't, I still like, I think I was just posting about it yesterday. Like, so many things in that episode were so brilliant, I thought. That you can, if you can do animation for a period of time without any words, that's completely unrelated to the rest of the characters in the storyline, is sort of brilliant. Like, and then I was like, oh, this is so compelling and noir. Interesting. I was like, I'm just enjoying this from like a cinematic standpoint. So I really love the episode. Although like discovering a clone version of Beth was, I think, quite astounding and exciting, and something we all really wanted to happen at some point, sort of like a wet dream of some kind. Yes.
How about for you?
Wet dreams.
Yeah, I know. Dan is on the call, you guys.
Just saying, it's exciting because we've been teasing about it. You guys have been teasing about this like clone Beth, and now we get to meet her, and she's badass. And I was always really looking forward to that, because I was like, well, there's this really great surprise at the end. We can't tell you exactly what it is, and it's that it's real. That was super exciting to me. No, and I just I love doing the voice of Summer. I mean, it's very close to my own voice. Like, I grew up in LA in the Valley, but I did a recording session recently, and like a couple of days ago, and it was an epic recording session, but I can make like 3 sounds in one vowel, apparently. Like, oh my God. Like, it's something that I wasn't even aware that I was doing, but the more that I get to do this Summer voice, it's become even more and more fun. I tend to do it in life sometimes, or like avoid it. Like I went down to this store just recently, like with a mask on. And someone was like, yeah, Rick and Morty. And I was like, thank you. It feels so awkward when somebody recognizes the show and I'm like wearing a shirt of the show, and anyway.
So you don't say thank you, because
thank
if
you.
you do,
Exactly.
they'll go, you work on the show. Okay.
Exactly. I don't know if they would put it together. They don't. Maybe if I wore like a summer mask around, they'd really enjoy that. As I was like, oh my God, can I get that?
Yeah, what we found out today is that Spencer's entire wardrobe is just Rick and Morty clothes. Like, do you still have your other accessory around?
It's my leisure wear. Yeah, I do. I have this one. It's my leisure wear.
You wore the band tee to the concert today, and we have nothing but respect for it.
I'd be like, thank you.
Thank you.
That seems like a segue to. I should really clean up around
a bit,
here.
Dan.
Oh, is that an Emmy that you have, Dan?
Oh, damn it. Yeah.
In my closet. Oh.
Well, I'm here in the room where I get dressed and decide whether or not I'm proud of myself every morning. I think that's where it should be.
We're doing great so far. All right, Chris, what was your favorite moment from season 4?
I have a terrible memory, first of all.
You can pick a moment from a scene we just saw too. That is totally fair.
The camping trip. Marshmallow, the s'more.
I liked, was last season Rick's special toilet on the toilet planet? Was that last season?
I think so.
Yeah, I liked that one. I thought that was cool that he had this toilet that was on a special planet, and then he could really analyze who had been using it and track down the person that did it. And I thought that was an especially lovely sort of episode.
Well, in true Rick and Morty fashion too, it starts with like this kind of like one-line joke and then goes really deep and really heartbreaking. And then like you realize you feel terrible and like sad, and it's very tragic by the end of it. That started with this very simple, Rick just has a toilet on the planet so he can go to the bathroom whenever he wants in privacy.
Yeah. I'd say it says so much about the guy that he has all of that equipment that is able to figure out who pooped there, even though the supposed whole point of its existence is that no one can. And so, yeah, it's like, there's a lot of poetry there, I thought.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
On that note, Sarah, did you have a favorite moment from the past season?
I mean, there were so many moments that stick out as like that made me laugh out loud, like Invisible Garbage Truck Jerry. I can't get enough of. I feel and Snake Jazz. I love it. The Wrangler jeans commercial, the whole run of the Wrangler jeans in the finale made me laugh so hard. And then episode-wise, the trap where they're trapped in the anthology episode, that was never Rick and Morty, right? That was this beginning of 4?
Wait,
This-
so
There's
I was
4B, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the top of it because I was distracted
You
by the
mean
Wrangler jeans thing because I was thinking of something.
The anthology. You meant
the anthology
when they
where
were
they're
stuck in
trapped
the
in the anthology.
narration train, the narrative train,
the story train.
the story train. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
not
the
buying
opening of
the
season-
story train is the act of buying the story train.
Yeah.
Well, I want to segue into talking about each particular character. But before we do that, Dan, I wanted to ask you, like, obviously you've had a lot of time to get to know your actors on this show, and beyond Spencer's ability to now add 3 different inflections to a single vowel, how much have you and Justin let your actors' personalities and readings inform the characters as you've developed them?
I think that I would have to say that Spencer by far is the most distance traveled, only because we started that character from decidedly a just square one. I mean, I can recall very clearly the conversation about Summer when we were writing the pilot, and the very deliberate decision to go, we know what a 14-year-old boy is. We know what that voice is, what that mindset is. We know this relationship between him and his grandpa. We even know the parents. He's got an older sister. We're going to need him to have an older sister. She's going to be a viable character. She's not going to be a punching bag or a nobody. But for now, what do we know of sisters? And what do we know of teenage girls? And the answer is sort of like, we don't. And so in the pilot, you know, she's sitting there and she's texting, and she's, I think her first line of dialogue is like, "Oh my God, my brother's in the fake." I can't repeat it.
That's what it is. Oh my God, my brother is so lame or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, my brother's face is in his pancakes. I'm going to kill myself or something like that. And it's just sort of like neither judgmental of her, whatever. We just don't know her. And so for that reason, it was like I don't think what we really anticipated during that conversation was, oh man, and she's going to be so interesting when she's interacting with Rick, that she'll have a completely different dynamic, and in fact be sort of a competitor in the adventure market. And that was definitely
competitor in the adventure market.
The finale of that season was where that became clear, because it was like it was Rick calls her a bitch. She says, "I want to have a party," and Rick goes, "No, I'm having a party, bitch," or whatever he says. And I was like, oh my God, he's like calling his granddaughter a bitch, like not a bitch, but just saying bitch to her. And like, because he's not that worried about being appropriate with her, because he has a different kind of disrespect for her than he has for Morty. And likewise, she is able to get to him in a different way. And that's what we're exploring in that Devil episode, the Needful Things thing, where it's like Rick has so anyways, that's me babbling and like kissing the character of Summer's ass. But that's not because that's just because we started her as a stem cell. We didn't know who she would be. I mean, we knew, therefore, that, what we knew about Jerry was he wants to do it right. He knows what the job of father is supposed to be, and he wants to do it right. What we knew about Beth was a function of plot, which is she is the answer to the question, how is it internally logical that this boy is allowed to be dragged off with this old man and risk his life every time, even though he's clearly failing in school? And the answer is his mom's got issues. That the husband can't collaborate with her on, because she's shutting him out for the same reason, which is she fetishizes exceptionality and blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff has changed over the seasons. And now we've got this macro story evolving with Beth. There's one evolving with Jerry that we talk about all the time, which is sort of like Jerry and Rick becoming, I hope this doesn't jump the shark to talk like this, but like Jerry and Rick becoming friends. That sounds like it would destroy the show, but like, I mean, we all have a lot of friends that we're like incredibly disrespectful to, like abusive towards. So
I don't.
I don't. All right, Mr. High Road. Well, okay. You know what, Jerry? If you look to your left and you're not that friend, it's because you're that friend to someone else.
Chris, is that the
Something
first
like
time
that.
you've heard that we're on a path to hopefully Rick and Jerry friendship, or did you know that already?
I mean, there was, obviously the episode where they sort of bond more on the You Can't Die planet. I know that episode has a name. I don't know the names of most of the episodes.
The episode names are of no help. Yeah. Episode name will be
They're
like
completely unrelated to the actual episode. If I want to know the episode
Night
name,
Morty.
I usually ask my son what episode name it is, and he'll tell me. He'll know what episode I'm talking about. So
Perfect.
I'm gonna lack on information because I'm gonna be like, hey Emmett, what episode is the part where whatever, I don't know.
Her son is 2, by the way, everybody.
Loves Rick and Morty. Okay, let me get us back because we have had such a wonderful tangent thus far. But I want to get to each. Oh no, we're crushing it right now. I want to get into each character beat real fast. So we're going to start with Beth. Beth, we know, not only had quality family time with her father in season 4, she also had quality family time with her clone. So here is a refresher on Beth's journey in season 4.
He told me you're the clone. What do you think he told me?
You're the clone?
Wow, naive and attractive.
Wow, jaded and hot.
Your enemies will say it's unfair. We say it's about time.
Damn it. We risked our lives for that?
You did your best. Maybe you need a break. Don't you ever miss Earth?
I don't have to miss it. I'm technically still there. My dad made a perfect clone of me to take my place.
Boy, that Rick.
Are they gonna torture us? Unless you plan on telling them what I know. Last chance to guess who was the clone. You're his daughter. Something about the eyes, the shameless abandonment of your family. However can I live with myself? One theory, I was designed by your father to live with myself, which would mean you made a conscious choice to swallow your dreams with cheap wine and dinosaur pasta. You know that's the kind Jerry likes. Same way I know the only goddamn dream you'll ever follow is your father's approval. You fetch your father's lemonade. You cosplay as your father in his 30s.
Okay, the therapists are getting bored. We need to increase their supply of incest porn.
20% wasn't enough? What the hell is that?
The unproductives. God damn it, how are there so many of them?
Unproductives?
Yeah, DJs, foodies, influencers. I just recirculate them through until they blew a hole in the human resources department.
You're fired. I'm putting this in your file. We gotta fix this, Dad. We can't keep recycling them through.
I could add an online college workaround.
Or just push them out through a pipe in the back.
Same thing. These kids may not be mine, but you definitely are. Look at you, my little steampunk overlord. My daughter, having space adventures. They are skewing a tad Star Wars-y, though. Don't forget to have fun.
Well, I came back to murder you, not get your notes, but I'll remember to fart more while I'm saving the galaxy. Summer, how many soulmates is that in the last week?
4. You can't stop me from loving who I love, Mom.
Oh, I can't. I'm gonna mother you until your 18th birthday, even if I get thrown in prison for non-consensual mothering. And even then, I will break out, come to your house, kick down your door, and mother your face out of your stupid asshole!
I'm gonna daughter your brains out, bitch.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
You know, I've never seen Family Guy, but that just seems better. I hope this is a safe place to say that. I hope it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the 5 of us here, so for sure.
Is that an Emmy behind you, Dan?
Yes, it is.
There were so many topics we did.
You know what it isn't? Family Guy's.
It's great.
But what a twist if it was.
Stole it.
My favorite thing about Rick and Morty, and here's where I'll name drop an episode. Ever since Rick Potion number 9 in season 1, we have seen that Rick and Morty will bring up a insane story plot point, such as we're swapping between dimensions, and then deal with the fallout of, we have to kill the Rick and the Morty in this dimension to continue living on. So we had the insane plot point of, Beth's a clone. And then we got to deal with the fallout of, Beth's a clone, and we get to meet that clone. So Sarah, for you, when you first got the script and you saw, okay, Beth has a clone now, like, what were you most interested to explore in that storyline going forward?
Well, this whole season was one of my favorite Beth seasons to voice. And in terms of the clone, like, I didn't know the whole time, right, if she's a clone or not a clone. And then reading that particular episode, my head was exploding because obviously it takes you on the journey of, Rick saying, "Oh, you're the clone. No, you're the clone," and you're just following it along. I'm following it along in real time as I'm reading that script because we didn't, have any of the heads up or the information. I thought it was so cool. It was so
and we did that cool actor exercise of changing the script every 3 days and making it record every line of dialogue. We did have some different versions. It was. I just thought it was so cool that like you end off in 3. Beth basically asks Rick like, "What kind of daughter do you want me to be? What do you want here?" And he can't answer her. And then he goes and, knocks her unconscious and basically he can't even, bring himself, he's sort of in this moment of being, of cowardice, it feels like. And I feel like it was fun to get to play both Beth, Space Beth and, Home Beth and for them to get to the point. I love the ending that they're just like, we don't care. We don't want to, we actually don't care anymore. We don't want to know. It's not important to us. Yeah. It feels satisfying. I believe the daughters, the both Beths when they say it. I will confess, I don't believe that Summer and Morty are fine, like with that.
Right.
I think that a 14-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl would be like, wait, who's my mom? Stop the show and tell me. But we had to just pinch it off.
Well, Dan, I'm curious, like for you guys as the writers, do you know which is the real Beth and which is the clone? Or did you take the Rick approach of we'll decide down the road if we need to?
I think it's safe to say we don't know since we worked into the narrative that Rick doesn't know and that Rick also upon finding out that he also made himself forget that he doesn't know. And when he found out he doesn't know, he said, "I'm a terrible father," which is a metaphor for us saying we're bad writers. But is also like a very ancient Greek thing where it's like Zeus is atoning with Athena and going like, this is how I create. I create through abuse. I have created now 2 women who have been bifurcated by my aggressive refusal to commit to anything. And if that's not where the buck stops, and if I don't now accept this, then what happens? Is there an infinite Beth, storyline that happens? Harmon, stop.
Yes, there is. You've heard it here first.
There's possibly an infinite Beth storyline.
But in the meantime, you have this cool thing, which is like, well, everybody's got that crazy aunt that comes in from Nevada. If memory serves, we kind of blow it in terms of addressing it in season 5, but goddamn, season 6 is there's some clone Beth fireworks.
Heck yeah, you got time for it.
Exciting.
All right, so we got to go to Jerry next, of course. Jerry had a big season from developing an app to developing the Unproductives. Let's take a look back at Jerry's biggest moments in season 4.
He's really putting you to work, huh?
Did you want to develop an app?
I'll pass, Flutie.
Your loss.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
That's an app you'd want to develop.
Can I ask what it is?
Of course you can. That's always the first step in app development.
50-50, final offer.
What are you guys doing? Did you develop an app?
Rule number 1 in app development, son. Never follow the rules.
Except when the rule is tattooed on an alien's forehead, Dad! Why do you think Rick would have that rule?
Because he's a disruptophobe.
No, Dad, no! To keep something horrible from happening! Something he's too lazy to explain!
Guys, we're getting our first users.
Hey, sweetie.
Honey, our daughter ran off with a frisbee golfer because of some app with a really dumb, really forgettable name. Like a really dumb, uncreative, super sweaty name. Anyway, I'll be late. I love you.
Got it. I love you too.
Jerry? Oh my God! Is that you? What the hell are you doing?
Camping.
Oh, look, Jerry finally found his people. All it took was a deep enough drip pan.
You label these creatures unproductive, but I have given them more purpose than ever.
Oh yeah, are they filing your unemployment forms?
His tongue is sharp, but it cannot whittle. The great roughing of it is at hand. You will now join the one family on its eternal getaway, or join the embers over which we hold marshmallows at just the right distance. Hey, babe!
Jerry, are you in the air? Rick told me he made you floaty.
Made me floaty. Gotta love Rick's worldview. Yes, I had Rick make me floaty so I could put up some lights. Now I'm at the light store.
Get away!
Sorry, this lady at the store is trying to peck me. Okay, I'll bite. What's with the talking cat?
It's a dragon, dip knob.
I know that's a dragon. I'm talking about the talking cat in my bedroom.
Jerry, why would I give Morty a talking dragon and you a talking cat at the same time? Those concepts bump. If you're talking to a cat, it's an abnormal event unrelated to me, like when you went to Pluto or my daughter.
Okay, there's really no need to get savage.
So?
He says he has nothing to do with you talking.
Told you.
So then why are you talking?
Why should that matter?
Why should it not matter? How do I know I'm not hallucinating? Rick said this is an abnormal event.
You always need Rick to tell you what's going on? Maybe it's time you stopped asking questions and started having fun.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
I will say Jerry's had such an interesting journey over the 4 seasons because the first few really dealt with like his role and where he stood within the family unit. But I feel like the past couple seasons, we've gotten a lot of really strong Jerry strikes out on his own and kind of gains confidence and comes into himself intentionally removed from the family unit. So Chris, I'm curious for you, like what has that evolution of Jerry been like and how has that changed your performance of him as he has kind of like grown in confidence in his own way?
Well, it's a lot of fun because Jerry, has to go to these sort of different places emotionally and in terms of his own sense of self-worth and all of that. But it's basically they write these great words on the page, and then you just try to bring them to life, and if you're just true to that, then it tends to play pretty well, as we saw. That's my very lame answer to your question.
No, it is very good and pure. I also Dan, I know you said you wouldn't give us too many teases about season 5, but please tell me there are plans to bring back Matthew Broderick as just a talking cat that is an abnormality at some point. Like, it's a loose end. Come on.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, at the time, when he walks off into the desert, the whole point was I always, every character that you see like that doesn't explode, and even half of the ones that do, I'm always talking about the possibilities, and then I forget a lot of them, and I forgot about the cat. The Matthew Broderick cat is out there somewhere, okay. And the truth is, because we're almost done writing season 6, so that cat's gone, man.
Come back, time.
But by the time Matthew Broderick gets to voice that cat again, he's going to sound like Ian McKellen. It's not going to.
Listen, if you say it now, someone who's watching this is going to remember and bring it up to you incessantly, so you never forget, and then we'll get that great return down the road. So it's
unfortunately by a law that will have some name in psychology schools, everyone watching this is only the people that don't work near me. I like you think the people that have to listen to me for 4 hours a day are going like, oh, plus I'd love to go see what he has to say with his head up his ass in a panel. Those people are taking a rare opportunity to drive up and down their street with a mask on, sticking their head out a window, screaming, "I'm a human being."
All right, so we got a lot of hard news out of that. I do want to go around and ask while we're talking about Jerry, if you guys have favorite Jerry moments. So does anyone have one off the top of their head that they want to share?
I really love when he.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you go. No, you go, Sarah.
You go.
No, please.
I'm too Canadian to go first now.
You have to now. I'm forcing you to. It's very American of me.
I mean, my all-time favorite Jerry moment was when we go off planet to couples counseling, and Beth's version of Jerry in her head is this tiny worm.
Yeah, I love that. Really had the way he kept presenting his backside for her to dominate. That was a favorite moment for me too.
But then how easy it was for that needle to move, you know, as soon as he did something, you know, that machine started spitting out these crazy, like, masculine action figure Jerry's. Yeah. I love from a writer's perspective, I love Jerry at his most isolated moment, which is him floating through the air with that one shoe on. I asterisk that by saying I don't think we nailed that. I think that, you know, because when I think about that, I was, you know, it's like Jerry floating up in the air. Like I really wanted to think about the groundedness of, like, actually, holy shit, I'm gonna die. You know, if you go up in a hot air balloon or a Ferris wheel, it's like that altitude and stuff, and taking that seriously and believing that Jerry really would choose to risk death. And he's got a phone battery and he's actually like making those decisions. At a certain point in that story, again, just to pinch it off and resolve it, Jerry behaves very Bruckheimer-y. Internal logic starts to rattle. He's grabbing an airplane in it with a couple more months. I could have made that episode great. But I just love that idea. I believe in that Jerry who's floating there in the rain, and he wants to leave a message to his wife saying, I'm probably going to die now. And the reason is because of my pride. And I should have been a less proud man. And then he realizes, oh shit, I might not have to, I might not have to confess to my pride. I might actually have a proud moment here. I got to go. The subtextual fact that if you watch Rick in that episode, Rick is a little bit almost in this like cuckold porn sense. Like Rick is observing Jerry going through this stuff, and Rick is getting, for lack of a better word, turned on. Like Rick is like, I didn't know this Jerry existed. This Jerry that would spit in my eye and risk his life. So even though he's being an idiot, like that's a different dynamic from when Rick is yelling at Jerry about putting liquid dream killer into his daughter and she could do better. If you watch those two stories, there's a growth in that relationship.
Well, Rick is just so aggressive with everyone and abrasive that he kind of forces you either to be squashed under him or to rise up. And I've loved the rise of Jerry these past few seasons, as he is just out. He's sick of it. And standing up for himself a little bit.
And Rick making room for that growth, however passive aggressively, but like never. Rick has a kind of non-interference policy with Jerry, the way that Captain Kirk refused to outright smash a planet and say your religion is a lie. Rick, for all of his contempt for Jerry, he won't out and out just like neuter Jerry or sew his mouth shut or make him not exist. Jerry will continue to grow because Rick is like, I'm not going to be guilty of that.
Well, speaking of a character who has continued to grow through their relationship with Rick, last but not least, Summer. This season, Summer found love and some more love. And then her friend tried to find love with her dad. It was a very lovely season for Summer. Let's leave it at that.
Teaser.
So here's a look back.
Best teaser ever.
So I guess what we learned is to split the diff. From now on, Rick and Morty doing a little of this and a little of that. Yeah, sometimes we'll do classic stuff. Other times we'll do whatever. Sometimes we won't even do anything. Rick and Morty not doing anything. 100 years, pushing it to the limit. Rick and Morty pushing it to the limit. Trying different things, but then also pushing it anywhere not near the limit at all. Sometimes not even push a little bit towards the limit. Not zero. Making sure to keep our eyes on the prize. We're not. And you can do whatever the f*** you want, Morty. Wait. What the f***? Hold on. What the f*** did you just say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I was just playing along with you guys.
You know I record everything, right? Garage, isolate Summer's voice and play back.
Oh, and then you guys can get married and each other off in a testosterone-addled third grade.
What the hell, Summer? That's disgusting! Gross, Summer. Jesus Christ.
I was just joking around. Just seeing if you guys pay any attention to me. Just want to be a part of the fun.
Get the out of here. Get out of here, Summer. Get out of here. Disgusting. You ruined the season 4 premiere. Season 4 premiere, you ruined it.
Check this shit out. Watch this.
Oh, yeah. Don't even look. Don't even bother looking. Let magic guide your arrow. Summer, what the hell are you doing? Take this seriously. Shut the up, Morty. Stop trying to pretend like magic involves skill or thought. Summer, make it look like it's coming out of your butthole.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What's that in your mouth?
It's a toothpick. I'm a toothpicker now. Get used to it.
God, are you that desperate for a thing?
It is my thing. Just like yours is dying alone and yours is jerking off.
At least jerking off tracks from my character, you know? I like to jerk off. I'm 14. I own it.
Well, I jerk off too.
Jesus Christ,
Rick,
I don't want
stop.
to think about
Summer,
that.
keep your toothpick.
Gross.
Morty, stop talking to your sister about jerking off. Everyone pretend podcasting isn't boring.
Summer, how soups shook am I by your playlisting fleekness tonight?
You love it? It's snake jazz. My little brother got bit by a snake in outer space and killed it with a hubcap, and my grandpa had to scan its planet's culture for an anti-venom, and they found this. It's my jam.
Seriously? My new thing now is snake jazz.
Can you alter the course of a species' evolution like that without repercussion?
Gee, I don't know, Nancy. Can you alter the course of being a giant nerd?
Sorry.
Also, later we need to discuss your clothing and your weight.
That's fair.
Jeff, I can explain everything.
You don't have to. Can you just marry us instead?
Jeff, don't do it!
Richard.
Maggie!
Running bird!
Let's get out of here.
Priest Witherspoon!
Josiah?
Let's get the out of here.
Summer Smith.
Let's get the hell out of here.
You had me at my own name.
I was just remembering like when they're on the plane and she's like picking her toenails, and I was like, that would make me really disgusted as well on a plane in a public place. So I was like, there couldn't be anything more like relevant to me personally about like people you don't like to date.
And imagine how far you could get in a relationship before you found that out. Yeah.
I mean, that's so true.
You could genuinely love someone. Like you could have been through a To Kill a Mockingbird level crisis with them, where you're like standing up against racists from your front porch. You could clench hands and punch the sky together. And then you could be like, let's go meet my parents. And they could get on the plane, take off their shoes, then their socks, start picking their toes.
Oh, it's so gross in a public place. Ew.
Dan, this feels like, did this come from personal experience?
No.
Or is that like you're like speaking very vividly about it?
No, I mean, if anything, well, it comes from a very real fear of being that person. I'm always waiting for the shoe to drop. Like when is this woman who has agreed to have sex with me going to find out something about me?
I also want to say, I know you guys.
I agree. I feel the same way, Dan, by the way. I feel exactly the same way.
This is a total aside, but I just want to say, like, I know you guys are very busy writing now season 6, but if this quarantine goes on much longer, can we plan like a digital like snake jazz live stream concert for everyone that we just like tune in and it's just like 3 hours of snake jazz? Like, and like then I got a close up for that. I'm like doing my snake jazz.
I feel like Rob Elder has to do like more variations on the snake jazz though. Like he's got to like, there's got to be like various other people involved in the snake jazz experience. It has to be like a live jam session, you know?
Yeah,
Let's
for
get
sure.
it.
All right, I want to sneak in a summer question before we talk about season 5 and then go to fan questions. So I want to ask, Summer, I think made a pretty good queen. Do you think she should have stayed on Glorzo and just ruled instead of going back with the family?
And Glorzo and just ruled. I mean, there's something really lovely in being, you know, the dominant person in a world. However, if it's in a place where you don't necessarily respect everyone who's on Glorzo, they're all like, you know, people who have been taken over by things that live only for a few minutes or like 30. It doesn't mean much, right? So like, wouldn't you rather have a go at real life where you might actually rule in a real way people who might be affected for more than just a few minutes? Although, listen, that's kind of like the fast food nation we live in, I guess. But
I like that you still have her on her path to ruling, though, regardless of if it's Glorzo or somewhere else. She's like, she's going to rule somewhere.
She needs to rule for a period of time that actually is relevant to the people who want to be dominated, I think. But no, I mean, I think what was lovely about that storyline was that she had to survive. And I think you did the best thing, Dan, where you were like, I had to do that line the way you did it because you did it so good. Just like, you don't know anything about my story. Like, so me and Sydney kept laughing about it because it was so good. It was so good. And like Rick and Morty is not just like the right, like we do what we do, but like it isn't just, for me, it's not just me like doing Summer. It's like a collection of brains of people who create this character. And then like we all kind of make it together to give you like, I think the best that we can as for, you know, your entertainment.
Because I think it was gonna be literally the first time we ever did nonlinear storytelling, which I put in a category with like voiceover and other crutches and I was like, if we're doing this, like we're gonna now for the first time, we're gonna say 3 weeks earlier or whatever. And so it's either a harp gliss and or we just had to add vowels to Summer's.
And it was so good adding all the, and I feel like in
you don't
some
know
ways
anything about my story.
And I think there's some part like where that happened that has now incorporated, like I've now incorporated more vowels into Summer. Thank you to Dan Harmon. Like honestly, and I was like, this is amazing. Like sometimes I'll imagine how Dan would do it as me being Summer, and I'm like, it's even better now. It's even better. I swear. I honestly. So yeah, that's how I feel about being queen. FYI.
That's a great
answer.
answer.
My kitty. Here's my cat, Sophie.
Also voiced by Matthew Broderick.
Also,
yes.
Yeah. When
Hey,
she
what are
talks
you guys
to
doing?
Matthew.
Hey, Spencer. Well, I just came by wondering if you're going to give me any more of those laser pointers.
I am going to get you some more laser pointers, but we're going to have to go to Florida first. Okay. Which is just the most obvious answer I could give you right now. And it wasn't creative at all, but it's okay. It's fine.
You nailed it. So I had a bunch of questions about future seasons, but you kind of answered a lot of them, Dan. You know, you guys said you're past season 5, you're writing season 6. That tells me about how you guys are kind of mapping the seasons as well. But I was curious, you know, we have everyone here. Could you give us like a super cryptic tease that will only make sense once we actually see season 5 to kind of whet everyone's appetites?
Terry,
please.
I will not do that. And there's no character on Earth that could ever make me do it. What about me? Emmy, get out of here. You're not even my Rick and Morty Emmy. You're for Hugh Jackman's Academy Awards. It doesn't matter. I'm for TV excellence. Dan, why don't you Terry? You got a clip in the chamber you could share about season 5. Okay, you sound a little bit like a Justin Roiland character. Ooh, wait, no. That would be in poor taste because he's not here. Okay,
Thank you, Abby. Thank you.
The season 5 spoilers are hard. I also I find myself kind of losing track. I know one thing in general, like I am so excited about some of the season 5 stuff. And we're basically done writing it. The only exception is that I get on these Zoom edit sessions where we're at the point where we're kind of finalizing the finale of season 5. But we've got all these writers out to script on season 6, and we've spent the last couple of months with new writers just talking about season 6. It's a crazy situation to be in because this show has notoriously kept everyone behind schedule. The artists have always been waiting for scripts, and now finally we're trying to change that game and have them always have something to draw while we move ahead. And so we're there now. The unfortunate part of that is me going, oh shit, we forgot Matthew Broderick.
I'm so sorry to the writer or to the artist. I'm so sorry.
like all of a sudden you can realize, oh damn, I guess that cat can come back in season 9. Yeah.
As you said, you brought us something though.
I did. Emmy says so. Yeah. I think this is a cold open from an episode in particular. I can't remember which one. I remember approving it and going I think the kids would love to see that.
Let's see it, kids.
Come on, Rick. We're almost there.
Leave me, Morty. It's the only way. What? Were we blades in that one? That's tight.
Stay with me.
I'm scared, Morty. I can see the end. Oh God, there's nothing. I know I always said that, but oh God, there's really nothing. I'm sorry, Morty. I'm a silly man. I'm a silly small man. I wasted it all. I'm sorry I got you into this.
Then how about I get us out of this?
Hello?
Hey, Jessica, it's Morty from school.
Oh, hey, Morty. What's up?
I just want to say that you're really great. I know the timing never really worked out with us, but you're really great, and I wish I got to know you better.
Oh, I mean, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I guess I just...
No, I just wish you said it sooner.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you never really said anything to me, which always put me in a weird position because I didn't want to assume or whatever. Being nervous is sort of selfish sometimes, you know?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Well, what are you doing tonight?
Tonight?
Yeah, do you, want to watch a movie or something?
Yeah, tonight. Sounds great. I want to live! F*** death! I want to live!
Where are we?
Home, right where we belong.
No, seriously, Morty, where the f*** are we?
I don't know, the ocean?
The ocean? The ocean on Earth?
Yeah, I guess so.
Holy shit. We have to go right now. You touched the ocean, Morty.
What's the big...
Oh, shit.
What?
Richard, you have desecrated the sacred treaty betwixt land and sea. Now face the wrath of your once and eternal foe, Mr. Nimbus.
Sorry? Who the f*** is that?
My nemesis.
What?
My nemesis, okay?
Okay, but what was his name again?
I am Mr. Nimbus.
He's gonna say that a lot.
A nemesis this whole time. What a way to.
Well,
what a way to find out.
Imagine if your nemesis was it's embarrassing sometimes.
Okay, so I have a bunch of fan questions queued up for us. I'm a little paranoid asking these because I'm nervous that if I do this, you're going to make all the artists go back and add a bunch of stuff in season 5, which is already finished. But we're going to go and we're going to try it anyway. Okay, from Oglog, they want to know, and I'll rapid fire these so we can get through a bunch. From Oglog, will Rick and Morty's original family/universe Cronenberg family ever come back, do you think?
Not so far, nope.
Okay. Casblade said, is another Vindicators story possible?
It hasn't yet, but we got, there's some treats coming your way in an ancillary sense.
From Vetty Geek. I know there's a lot of is this going to happen? Maybe. And you're like, maybe not. Vetty Geeky wants to know, will there be more Morty's Mind Blower episodes?
Not for 2 years or so, but
this is the checklist.
If you're asking because you enjoyed it, I'll pass it along.
What a way to find out. You're immediately crowdsourcing from the fans. From Hida Vood, there's a lot of U's in there. What inspired the song Don't Look Back, and what was the inspiration behind it? It's kind of the same question. All my friends trip out that the song was made for the show and never believe me when I tell them.
Wait, which one is Don't Look Back? Which scene is that from?
Is that the one where is it from the planet where he's dating the hive mind? Is that the song?
No, that's right. That one's Chaos, right? That's
Let's look. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, you look it up.
Can we scoop through? Where is my son when I need him?
I think Don't Look Back might be from the finale of season 4. I think, but I get confused with the more with the song titles than the band names and stuff. But
all right, we'll come back to that one. Faiz Daniel says, "What was the best experience you ever had when it came to voice acting your characters?"
Oh, these guys, yeah. Well, I mean. That seems like you guys could take an hour answering that question.
Oh, we have 5 minutes. Wait, this was the episode. Yeah, I remember this one. This is the one where you end the episode
from episode 10.
Yeah, where it's like he's turning himself in, right? That one. To the Federation to save his family after they've been stuck on the tiny planet.
I will confess, if Justin was here, there would be a lot more information about that, or if Ryan Elder was here, because I don't know I defer. I don't know. I wasn't really behind that.
But the friends can continue to trip because it was made for the show, and now they can believe you when you tell them.
Exactly. Yeah, and I had to look it up online to let them know. So maybe next time you could just do that.
Oh God! Well, if they did that, they wouldn't think the Earth was flat, and that you're not.
You need new friends. We're saying you need to get new friends.
It's not fun to research things. They'll make a meme, and it won't use right? But
Sarah, Chris, Spencer, do you guys have a best experience you had when it came to voice acting your characters?
Well, mine definitely has improved with the blue foam. This pandemic recording has gone from taking every duvet and pillow in the house around a bunk bed and trying to make like an acoustically acceptable situation that then proceeded to be 7 moving blankets duct taped around a play tent. So this experience is new and very much more fulfilling and simple. In terms of Beth, I feel like overall, doing Space Beth and sort of having this different version of Beth that, is more like Rick, but that, she ironically hates Rick, and kind of getting to tweak Beth a little bit. So she was just like a little bit different. That was super, super fun for me.
Okay, Sarah, whatever. I have a text here about that song.
Okay. I didn't have anything more. It's pretty good timing. I was out. That's all I got.
Please share.
My man Steve Levy said that's Elder's original song. So I think that I believe that means that composer Ryan Elder that's just his thing.
That's really
he wrote that song and it was really touching and it made us have feelings.
And then people are like saying to that other person the great thing is that now Elder can get that feedback that there are people out there in a living room like smoking a joint and going like, I love this song. And they're like, did you know this was made for a TV show by some dude who makes TV music? And they were like, really no talented. Way. This is an artist song.
All right, I think we can burn through a couple more fan questions if you guys want. We have from Ellie's Bellies. If Rick and Morty could cross over with anything, what would you like to see? Family Guy, clearly.
Yeah, definitely.
We already got to do The Simpsons crashing in their living room. That was pretty cool.
The couch, yeah.
I mean, in terms of real, actual contemporary crossovers, I always thought the BoJack team would, I would love to have seen.
You thought they'd reach out.
Yeah, I like people to ask us. Yeah.
We're just
saying. We thought you'd ask us. But
I'm not gonna go hat in hand. Yeah.
We're waiting.
Emmy in hand.
I saw. Nick Kroll sent me a big mouth Rick and Morty crossover shirt. That was a photo of him with someone that was wearing like a big mouth Rick and Morty crossover shirt.
That I would love to
maybe.
See. I mean, Morty dealing with going through puberty. Ooh. For the last one we'll have, and this is for everyone, from Oliver Mills, question, what is the funniest or most interesting reaction someone has had once they recognized your voice? Chris, do you want to start with you? Do people recognize you as Jerry? Or they probably recognize you as you a lot, but I wonder if anyone's ever specifically noticed just from your voice that you're Jerry.
Yeah, definitely. Jerry and Cyril, sometimes from Archer, but a lot of Jerrys. Don't remember any specific instances, but I promise they've happened. Definitely happened. I don't remember any of them, but
Sarah, do you have any good ones?
I mean, it definitely, it's been fun to just like see and experience Rick and Morty's sort of explosion over the past years. And so it's happened, I think, more and more, but I can't, I'm with Parnell. I can't remember if a specific experience. I definitely feel like I've gotten a lot of street cred with all of my nephew's buddies.
The most important type. Spencer, do you just you draw out those vowels around a lot of people?
I know. No, but I have like a Rick and Morty like card holder for my wallet, and I travel a lot before obviously we couldn't travel anymore anywhere. But people will be like, oh, Rick and Morty. And I'll be like, it's great, isn't it? Like they have zero idea that I do the voice of Rick. Like I do Summer. There's just but I asked them why they like the show. And they were like, it's just so great. You can like drink a beer and like watch it on a Sunday. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, thank you. I'm sure that the people who are on the show love that you're a fan.
And Spencer goes back on the hat and like has the shirt on and the card. Like, don't worry.
I'm really trying really hard to be seen. No one notices. No, it literally just happened to me because I was like, I gotta run out to get something before we start started this. And they were like, oh, Pickle Rick. And I was like, thank you. But they had no idea.
Why are you thanking us?
Zero idea that I actually do the voice of Summer. So yeah, no, I haven't. It hasn't happened. But I've wanted to like maybe go into a comic book shop and just like start reading one of the comics and in my voice, and maybe somebody might know that it is me.
A new sign that says I'm the voice of Summer.
And I just put a sign on now that says it. Exactly.
Just need a little badge, just like a little hard plastic badge. It says I'm the voice of Summer.
You're right, because I should go get a badge. I should really go get a badge, and then I'll feel like people really acknowledge.
Because we don't have Comic-Con now. This is like really sad. Like I do feel like I want to get a golf cart and drive around my neighborhood with a laminate on and have people ask to take a picture with me. I want all those people to know how much I miss them and how big a part of my life that was. And
I agree.
Yeah.
No, it was one of my favorite things I look forward to every year. So, getting to actually hang out with everybody, like all of you guys, at some point, because I feel like there's such a beautiful show that's been created and like such talented and wonderful people are a part of it. It's like really lovely to get to spend time with you. It's so different than the way you do like a scripted show that's live action,
It's also cool to then maybe go to a yacht and the Game of Thrones people are like doing a shot.
Agreed.
I don't usually vape, but whoa, Lord.
Agreed. I love that too.
It's fun to get to see celebrities that you admire.
I know.
Too.
And this was like the first year, like we're not making the wrong shoe choice. I feel like every year Comic-Con shoe decision. And
shoe decisions are really important.
Spencer, do you remember we were walking home last year at Comic-Con? I had to take my shoes off and I'm walking.
I know.
At Comic-Con with no shoes on. Yeah, it was just.
I know. I was like, next time I'm bringing Sarah shoes. Like I'm gonna bring extra shoes in this purse, like so she has extra comfy shoes.
Yeah, you've made much more
in between parties.
And now we can all be in PJs if we really want to from home while doing this. Well, thank you.
I'm still wearing inappropriately high heels for some reason.
In the voice booth.
In the booth. Yeah. It's all I brought in with me. They don't let me out.
But you look fabulous.
You look so fabulous.
You should see my shoes. You should see my feet.
You guys, I could go for another hour. I know this is all the time we have, tragically. Yeah. This was so much fun. Thank you to everyone who joined us live. A huge thank you to Dan, Chris, Sarah, and Spencer for joining us. You can, of course, watch season 4 on Adult Swim or on the Adult Swim app, and you can catch up on seasons 1 through 3 on HBO Max right now. So thank you guys for bringing those great teases and stories, and hopefully see you soon.
Thanks for having
us. Thank you so much. It was a lovely time. Yeah.
Stay safe. Free Britney.
Stay safe. Watch lots of